Hey, what's good, y'all? It's the kid, Jered Sanders, GOM's Young Gunner, but also the Hope is Dope General. And you guys are now tuned in to RYZE Magazine. Salute.
Hey, everybody, it's Nate Thompson with RYZE Magazine. And today we have with us, of course, Mr. MC Nice, and the managing editor, and Mr. Jered Sanders. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up? Salutes. We got an official general in the building.
Yeah.
My man Jered Sanders is in the building.
I'm
like, I want my bars to be like you when they grow up. You know what I'm saying? So,
oh man.
You know what I'm saying?
Great, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it real 100. You one of my favorite rappers in Christian hip hop, right? Well, just in rap, period. Because I think you can ball with the best of them. Real fact. Like if we put your records against, Jay-Z, against Drake's, against not the other guys, because the mumble rappers don't count. You know what I mean? But I'm just keeping it 100. You know what I'm saying? But if we put your records against like Kendrick and all them, you would stand out. Real fact.
Appreciate it.
Although my favorite is Rakim. I'm gonna stick to that. You know what I'm saying? Rakim, because of my era. You know what I'm saying? But man, we are here and we want to get into Jered Sanders. Hope is dope. So why don't you just tell us about you just to begin with? Like, who is Jered Sanders?
I'm just a dude trying not to take himself too seriously at this point. Because my kids, they don't really care about the music that and my wife just want me to be a husband, so she's not really worried about bars either. So I'm just trying to take everything I say seriously as far as on record, and just trying to be a good dad and a good husband, and those kind of things, man. The artistry piece is just kind of one of the things that goes along with who I am. So
dope.
Where are you from? Like, where are you originally from?
I was born in St. Petersburg, Florida. So I was born right across the bridge from Tampa Bay. Go Buccaneers! We Super Bowl champions. Just had to. Yeah, but I'm from there. I grew most of my life. I grew up in Virginia, though. So my mom and step pops got married when I was like 3 years old, and they moved to Virginia. So I kind of been here since then.
Okay, so you in VA now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. What you gonna say now?
What's your weather like?
You say what now?
What's your weather like?
It's kind of temperamental, but I'll say this: Virginia is one of those states where we get snow, but since we're kind of right in the middle of the Northeast, we get snow, but it's not so much that it's unbearable. And so when we do get snow, people are prepared for it. It's not like Texas, where they get snow and ice and it's like they don't know what to do. Like we get it enough that we know how to handle ourselves. So yeah, it snowed last week. It had a little ice last week, but schools opened up after about a day or two, so everything was cool.
Oh, okay. Y'all got schools out there open?
Yeah, absolutely. My kids go to private school though. So the
See,
public
that's what I'm saying. I want to be like you. Yeah. You go to private school. I'm with you.
See, like they have a hybrid program for the public school kids. Most of them are still going online. But if they want to go to the school, like if they don't have like Wi-Fi access or internet access, they open the schools.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's kind of both. Virginia is one of the more open states. I wouldn't say we as open as like Texas or Georgia or something like that, but we're probably right under them.
Okay. So how long you been rapping, man? Like, and then when did you take it serious?
It's funny. Like my first rap and my first project was probably done within like a year of one another, and that was like 2013. I think like 2013. So I haven't been rapping as long. Like I started as a singer first, so I didn't rap at all. I liked rap. I listened to rap. I appreciated it. I think the thing that got me into rap was I found it more challenging, if you will. Like singing was something that kind of came natural to me. Like I was writing songs for other people and things like that. So especially more on the secular side, writing R&B records for people. But eventually I got, fascinated by rap and was like, oh, this is something I'm interested in. Let me dive in and see how much I can do. And, it turned into something that I really liked.
That was in 2013?
Yeah.
Man. That's 2013 and now?
Yeah.
I've been rapping my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So for you to have a bar game, that means the sky's the limit for you, because you ain't even really tapped in into
nah.
You ain't hit your stride yet.
He just
It's so crazy because a funny story is like I got signed to an independent label as a singer. Like I was singing the hooks and so I came on and one of the producers, the owner of the label, sent me a joint to do a hook for, and it was an open verse. And so I was like, yo, I'm gonna try this rapping thing. I hear rap, I like rap. I think I could do this. And so I put a verse on the record and I sent it to him with the hook and the verse. And he was like, yo, man, I was like checking it out, feeling what he's saying. And he was like, yeah, man, the hook is really dope. I said, yeah, but what about the raps though? And he was like, you know how like Usher does like the rap part on Nice and Slow?
Oh yeah.
Like
about yeah.
So it offended me, right?
Oh, so you basically said you was an R&B singer rapper,
right? He was like,
not a rapper, right?
Singer. Like we want to hear you sing, and so I took that as a challenge. And at that point, I just immersed myself in rap, and I was like, yeah, you're not never gonna tell me I'm not nice ever again. Like, so that's what happened. Like that's when I became challenged to be more of a rapper than anything else.
Oh man, that's dope. So, that's dope. That's a real dope story. So you're a singer too. So are we anticipating an R&B album from Jered Sanders?
I would say so.
Okay, all right.
I think the record I'm probably working on now is, I don't know, it's like 80, 90 to 10, like singing to rapping. So it's gonna be a lot more singing than rapping by a long shot.
Oh man, that's gonna be something to look forward to. When is that project dropping, or is it dropping this year?
It'll be dropping this year. It'll probably be dropping in a couple different parts.
Okay.
And then the wife kind of challenged me to make a R&B project as well. So I think
you gotta do an R&B project.
Yeah, I think it's on for sure.
So how long you been married?
6 years. We'll be 7 years in April.
Are you looking at her?
I'm like, yo, is she giving you the data? Like,
I can't keep my eyes off.
You better not stay. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. That's awesome.
Okay, and how many kids y'all got?
2. I got a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. My son will be 3 in this weekend.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, I seen the video with them in the video. Like, what'd that take to get them in the video? Because you said they don't really know you as who you are, so it's like,
right. I think what it is like my daughter has an affinity for music. My son likes music too. So, but I think when I try to put them in the spotlight to like show, like they kind of freeze up a little bit. So I'm like, they're not ready just yet. Like they're not ready for it yet. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty easy. I tried to keep a lot of those one takes, like one fluid shot, so I didn't have to worry about keeping them under wraps for too long. And it kind of worked out really well.
Hey, your wife seemed like she a natural.
See, it's so funny because she hates being seen on the camera. Like,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, she's like, nah. But I like, I just it just worked out, man. It really did.
Yeah.
Is she creative too?
Oh yeah.
She's a therapist, so she's really heavy in helping people. So she's not really a person that wants to be like in front of the camera. She's more of a behind the scenes person. Just live your best life and find your inspiration, find your motivation, that kind of person. So I guess that would show a level of creativity as well, because you got to be able to hear what people are saying and try to push them in the direction that you think they should go in. So
That's real dope, man. So hope is dope. Is your line. So you wanna talk about that? Like, how did that come about?
Oh man, it was so unintentional, right? That's how kind of it worked out. I had a brand idea that I was like, I didn't want to brand myself like CHH when I first came in. I just wanted to be like a rapper who was Christian, right? And what happened was I was like, nah, I want to be different. I'm gonna call what I do hope hop instead of hip
Okay,
hop, right?
I got you.
So
Yeah, I
I'm
got
gonna
you.
do that instead. And so when I came out with the idea for Hope Hop, this was just before my daughter was born, and my daughter's name is Hope. So my wife kind of saw what I was doing. She got a little inspiration from that, and then I put out a project called Hope is Dope, the original one with RYZE, and it was a double entendre. Like a part of it was, obviously Hope in Christ is dope, but it was also like, yo, I got a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she's talkative and she brings a lot of energy and a lot of life to the conversation. I was kind of inspired, as like a dad. So it kind of just worked out. So from that point on, I was telling, the designers who were doing my artwork, like, yo, like what would be a dope symbol that would be like a declaration? And he was like, a dove. And then I was like, yeah, let's put like a red exclamation point to make it be like a statement, like hope is dope. And
Right.
out like that. And my guy Byron Elliott did it. And so I kind of just went with it, and it had a ring to it, and it became something that kind of superseded me as an artist. Like just like Bizzle has God over money. Like there are people who wear God over money stuff that don't know who Bizzle is as a
Real
rapper.
facts. Yeah, yeah.
And so when people started seeing Hope is Dope, they were like, yo, I like that. Even if they didn't know that I rapped. And I was like, okay, now we on to something.
Yeah, because I rocks the black hoodie, and I get asked all the time where you get that hoodie from. So you
see,
yeah,
it supersedes the
yeah. And so yeah, I direct people on over to your situation. Yeah, I got a so we gonna go back. Hurry Up and Wait was one of the dope projects that you dropped, and then you just dropped like two other projects that were they like mixtapes or
it would be classified as mixtapes.
Okay, so let's talk about Hurry Up and Wait. What was the inspiration behind that?
I had just got signed, so it was kind of a transitional album. Like, and if people ever listen to it, listen to the skits. And the skit at the very beginning of the album, it's like, ladies and gentlemen, did you know we're gonna have a baby? So like it was like right before my son was born.
Okay.
And so Hurry Up and Wait was the beginning of the album was real celebratory because I had just got signed. And then I went through like a low period. Like I got fired from my job, and like my wife was super pregnant, and I started, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so that album took a transition. Like it went from happy celebration to like, oh, we got to get serious now. Like, and so yeah, ultimately, like Hurry Up and Wait was also something that doctors say is their strategy for like women that are about to have a child. They say hurry up and wait because you always want to be prepared for what's coming, but you don't really want to rush the process. So it kind of became like a dual meaning for that project, and I think it's my best work to date so far.
Yeah, I mean it is fire, but I don't know. I just the stuff you're putting out now is just on a whole nother level. Conceptually, yeah, that album is probably one of the best albums I've heard. I'm trying to understand the at the end of songs, you'll put like these little crazy little things like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? So what is the meaning behind behind those little is it subliminal? Like what's the meaning behind those?
It's kind of an indicator for what's to come next, right? Like the next song, like each of these transitions kind of leads into the idea behind the song. So it's just me finding a clever way to do it. So like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Obviously, it was, trying to talk about kids don't ask that unless you got a long way to go, right? So it's kind of
okay, I get you. Yeah,
long way to go. Like talking about patience was I'll wait. So honestly, every single transition like that is prepping you for what the next song is about.
So and then put some real thought into that, man. That's an underappreciated value of the record. I mean, like, you know what I mean? And I've always been the one when listening to, like, I think Kendrick Lamar's "To Pimp a Butterfly" is like an absolute classic, right? And the reason for that is because the structure of that record. So now, in hearing you explain the structure of the record, I got even better appreciation for it because, for me, I was just sitting there going, okay, I know there's some symbolization behind this. You know what I mean? And I can't wait to ask him but that was then when I get that opportunity, because I know you as being an intellectual. You know what I'm saying? When you being an intellectual, and I know you put real thought into that. So that was okay. Well, that was dope. So you transitioned from. Oh, you have something, Nate?
No. I was just gonna say he's strategic and intentional, and those are my two favorite words. So I love.
Yeah, those are your favorite words. Strategic and intentional. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you did Hurry Up and Wait, and then you just dropped. You was on a smooth hiatus for like a second. Yeah. And then you went through a weight transition. So how did that go? Was that what inspired you to drop the pounds?
Oh man, it's actually not even that deep. Like one time I was downstairs, and I tried to put my shoes on, and like I was sitting on the bottom of the stairs, and I bent down to tie my shoes, and my stomach was in the way, and I said, oh no, God, we can do something about this. And my kids weren't full blown energetic yet. But I was like, that's coming. So y'all ain't y'all not about to run me crazy. Like I'm gonna be ahead of y'all. So honestly, it just boiled down to that. Like it wasn't deep. And then what happened is, I guess you could say, I fell in love with the process over the results. Mm-hmm. And now it's like a part of my, every day. So like I probably exercise 6 days a week, almost 7 days a week. So now, that transition just came because I fell in love with the process. So that's really
it's a lifestyle now, right?
Right.
So do you do anything particular with regards to what you're eating? Like, are you on some kind of regimen, or you just eating what you do?
I wouldn't say I'm the strictest as far as diet is concerned. I just know the work that I put in, but I do think about it, right? I think about it. So I wouldn't say that I eat, ridiculous, but if I want some pizza, I'm gonna get some pizza.
So let me ask you this: are you a health freak? Are you, because again, you're saying you're being intentional with what you're putting in your body, and I think that's amazing. So when you consider it, is it like, because you just said I think about it. So what's what's breakfast like for Jered?
Today was a bowl of honey bunches of oats with almonds. That's my
I eat that.
Hey, look, I eat honey
bunches. Yeah, with the almond milk, and I think I got some hash browns from Chick-fil-A, and a protein shake after the workout. So like that's what the sometimes I get grits and eggs. It really just depends on how I'm feeling. I think what's happening now is because my body's starting to run cleaner. I don't intake dairy as much because my body immediately knows something is there. It's like,
right, I got you. That's the first part, is understanding self.
Yeah,
in regards to that. So that's dope, man. So you got in dad shape, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. And people like to pass it off as like married happy weight or whatever you want to call it. I just know I was happier than most. That's all.
Yeah. You stupid.
You was there.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. And like shows, like I started realizing you get in tour shape and then you get in like real life shape. And I realized if you tour consistently, you could be big and get through a show. Like, because you naturally get trained to know when to breathe and how to breathe. Like now I'm in shape. So it's not like show shape. Like now, I feel like if I did a show now, I'd be out of here. Like I'd be somewhere else.
Yeah, stay tuned for that announcement.
Yeah,
right? I was like, well, we need to put on a show. Let's see this.
Stay tuned for that announcement.
Yeah,
we out here meeting in California, so
yeah,
we're gonna have some news for you.
Right on.
In regards to the festival. So so you got in shape and then you just dropped 2 bombs on us. Yeah. So the Hope is Dope, right?
Right. I think that's it was January.
Hope is Dope too, right? Mm-hmm. And then you dropped like was it like Black a Christmas collection or something? Yeah.
Black Friday.
So tell us about those like not Christmas. What was it? But it was around. Yeah. So tell us about what those projects like. What was that to do? Just to keep your name in the space, or was it just I need to let off some of the stuff I've been working on?
Both. It was kind of like a social experiment, right? I always wondered how to approach the industry now because it's so fluid and it changes so consistently. Like you've got people that are really album event-based artists where they have these, 6 to 8 week rollouts and they build and build and build and build. And I started realizing like philosophically that when people would do that, it would become like everything that you do is built on one day. Mm-hmm. And then after that one day, it's like, okay, that's it. Like, and so for me, I was like, yo, wait a minute. Like, what if I made a small announcement, gave people entertainment throughout, and then dropped the project just like, hey, here it goes. How would people respond? You know what I'm saying? And I probably got more response from the mixtapes than the album. And we spent way more money on the album. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of how I was looking at it. I was like, yo, let's try something different. Like content is king now, as opposed to the rollouts. So I was like, yo, let's do 5 one-take videos, mixtape on Friday, see what happens. I think like in 4 days, I was like up 1,000, 1,200 followers. You know what I'm saying? Like I was the video count in a month. Because Biz was like, yo, we got to figure out how to get these views up. I said, yo, check this out. I dropped 10 videos. And in those 10 videos, we talking about 150,000 views. I'm like, see, a lot of people do it like one video and they try to drive the numbers up. I'm like, yo, what difference does it make? Like, it's still 150,000 views. So I'm like, yo, Derek Minor gave me this idea. I always give him credit for that. Like Derek Minor said, yo, if I get 1 million streams from dropping 4 projects, or I get 1 million streams from dropping 1 project, it's still 1 million streams.
Right.
It doesn't matter how you get it, so long as you get it. So for me, I was like, oh, it doesn't matter if I had 1 video with 150,000 views or 10. It's still 150,000 views. You know what I'm saying? Right. So honestly, in this era, if content is king, it doesn't matter individually what you're doing, so long as the overall picture is what you're going for. So I'm learning I'm more of a releasing the spur kind of person, because this is the era we're in now, is on demand, right? You can vouch for this. So when people are interested in something, they want to be able to have access to it.
Listen. So, Jered, there are a couple of questions that just come to mind. So you're really talking about your release cycle, right? So like as high up, we rolling, but as soon as it starts to taper off, you like, let's put something else out. Right. And that is certainly a space that I'm like, yes, I think that is amazing. You had an opportunity to work with one of the artists that I used to represent, Jered Golden, right?
Yeah.
And he shared with me, he was like, Jered is such a businessman in this. You know what I mean? Like you think kind of outside the box, like you're sharing right now. So just understanding like all of those particulars when you're considering an individual who's just like getting started, or someone who's interested in kind of getting to the space that you occupy, what would be some, because everything is numbers, be it analytics or algorithms, or the metrics is high up, all these things. So like, how can someone get to that space? You know what I mean? They don't have a large following, they're good artists. And like you're saying, you found what works for you, but what are some spaces that, an independent artist could really kind of vibe with you in that place?
Well, I think if you're a new artist, focus on the people that do rock with you first. Like, I think a lot of people try to cast like a big net in the ocean. Like, and I think that the tricky part about that is being direct is probably more effective for somebody who doesn't have a lot of fans, because you can look at the people who rock with you already, give those people your attention. Because ironically, a lot of guys who are on the come up, they look too far at like somebody whose status, quote unquote, is way higher than theirs. It's like, not worrying about that. Like, because worry about the people that you have already and cultivate that audience and cultivate that base. Because as you continue to form a relationship with those people and strengthen that relationship, those people will tell other people. And then those people will tell other people. And I think a lot of guys focus so much. It's like for a better illustration, Christian rap is like, we think it's like this ocean. And really it's like a puddle, right? Like, it doesn't really, whoever's at the very top of this puddle doesn't have that much real estate in the grand scheme of the industry. Like, if you bubble pretty quickly to get on one of the major publications in Christian rap, you're 1 or 2 degrees of separation from the top dude in this whole space. It doesn't, and I think a lot of people think you gotta swim so hard to catch these guys. And I'm like, you in a puddle. It's not the ocean.
It's funny you say that, because I had an artist, I talked to an artist who was like, yo, man, I'm about to retire from Christian hip hop. He said, because I think I reached my ceiling. And I said, dude, you ain't even jumped off the curb. I said, you ain't reached no ceiling. Like, what ceiling did you reach? Did you hit any of your major goals? If your major goals was just to release a record, okay, that's simple. But what goals did you have in mind, to that you fulfilled that's going to allow you to retire? And he was just like, well, I can't get into, I think he was talking about the Doves. I can't get into the Doves. They're not really checking for me. I can't get into Grammys. They're not checking for me. And I was just like, well, are you checking for them? I said, at the end of the day, the way the Doves work, you have to be a member. If you become a member, you know that you yourself can submit the record to the Doves. You know what I'm saying? And then at that point, you only need 2 votes to get on the ballot. But they don't tell people that. You know what I'm saying? Where if I submit your record, you know what I mean, and then I get 2 more people to vote for that record, now it's officially on the Dove ballot.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Or with the Grammys, if you became a professional member, you can submit your record and your record get on the ballot for consideration. Yeah. So, it's just like if those are your benchmarks and you feel like you hit your ceiling because you can't reach those benchmarks, then you didn't really put in the work that you should have put in, because it's
It's wild because, like, why does everybody have the same benchmarks? Like, to me, it's kind of odd, because the internet is the information superhighway, right?
Facts.
You've got guys that nobody knows on the national scene who are full-time artists.
Mm-hmm. Like, and making a living.
Right, and making a great living. Mm-hmm. And so this idea that Grammys, Stellar Awards, Dove Awards, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so are you trying to make music that they curate or cultivate? Like, are you trying to, or you get like Toby Nwigwe, right? Hypothetically, Toby Nwigwe said, yo, I'm going to make music I want to make. I'm going to sit on the floor. Now, my girl going to braid my hair. I'm going to do something every single Sunday. And his cultivation continued to grow and develop. He learned social media algorithms. He learned how to do targeted marketing and get his stuff out to bigger audiences. And then he started making higher production value videos. And then what happened is the bottom swell happened. Like, he built his base that was with him. And then all these other media outlets were like, yo, who is that? Mm-hmm. Like, and it wasn't like he was pitching to the Grammys or pitching to the Stellar Awards or pitching to DX. What happened is the people told those outlets what was popping. And if you notice more than anybody, N.I.C E, the industry now is algorithm based. They don't really care. They don't know what's popping unless the numbers show that, right? And so if your algorithm, your streaming, your playlist, and your numbers are going up, then they'll be like, yo, who is this person on such and such playlist? Let's find out more. And so a lot of these guys are sitting up here worried about stuff that most human beings won't have access to, right? Like most people in their lifetime, of the millions of artists in the world, aren't going to get nominated for a Grammy. But if you have enough of a base that you can communicate directly to, and they rock with you to the extent that it impacts their life, and they tell other people to take from their time to invest in what you do, like those become your Grammys. Stop worrying about some of these institutions that make you feel like which would, if you could ask any artist right now, what would you rather have? A Grammy nomination or be able to pay your bills full time with the music you
do? Right, forever.
Like, which would you rather have? And a lot, the Grammy. And I'm like, most people don't get that though. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people don't get that. So what are you cultivating now? Like, what are you doing now? And people want to go from recording in the closet to the Grammys. And I'm not saying it's not possible, right? Because anything is possible. But it's like, yo, you are missing so much of the in-between, trying to get to something that you saw instead of focusing on what's right in front of you. So
you know what? Like, what I hear you saying is really your intention behind why you're doing what you're doing, right? Like, are you an artist because you love music and this is what you want to do, and then you just happen to get paid for it? Or are you on this track like, I got to have every accolade that is possible as an artist? I get both sides because, you know, as a professional, I'm a doctor as well. So as a professional, you want to make sure that you have the things that kind of culminate the fact that you've worked hard to get to where you are. Okay, right. I get it. But at the same time, like, I think from the music industry side, there are so many artists who don't make music for people. They're doing what they want to do and wanting people to buy into that, right? And there is a difference because just like with a magazine, if I put everything in that I like, you guys don't want to read it, right? Like, you're not into shoes and bags and, you know, stuff that I like, right? But if I put in it things that are able to help you move your career further along as an independent artist, or, you know, share your testimony or whatever the case may be, these are things that other people can find some insight and understanding on how to be progressive in what it is they're doing. Now we have this intersection, that's what I call it. Because really, I'm a publicist. Like, by trade, that's what I do, right? So ultimately, it's always about creating that rapport with your people that you're asking to support your situation. And oftentimes what I see is independent artists are narcissistic. It's always me, buy, you know what I mean? Buy my this, do this. You bossing me around. I don't even know you. You know what I mean? Like, give me some reason to rock with you, because if I rock with you, I'm going to support you regardless. And that's what I hear you saying, right? Like, give me a reason.
Yeah. And here's the thing. There's a blueprint if you really want to get to the Grammys, like N.I.C.E said.
Yeah.
If there's a blueprint, you better have this, but it's a way to get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a way to get there. These things are not like uncommon metrics. It's like, okay, you want to get on a playlist? How much money you got? Like, how much money do you have?
Yeah, that's what I always tell people.
Circles. You could get anywhere you want if you got the bread for it. Like, but a lot of people, they don't know, they don't even know enough to say, let me take a targeted ads course so I can figure out how to promote my Instagram, like, so that I can cultivate a base of people that support me, so that when it's time for me to sell something or pitch something or have an album, hey, I understand how this works. Like, and if you don't understand how it works, then what are you? Like, you're subject to the abilities of other people. And that's why you have the DIYer. And then you have the people that have enough resources to say, hey, can you have this skill? Here's this money in exchange for it. Like, if you believe in what I do, give this to them and they'll do something for me. And I think you have a lot of DIYers who get upset because they haven't learned anything, and then get upset because they can't knock down a door that already has a path to success. You can, listen, if you got, I tell you what, and I think Marty from Social Club said this. He said, yo, if you got $100,000 right now, I could get you anywhere you need to go. Like you got $100,000, I can get you wherever you need to go. Whatever playlist, magazine, publicist, whatever, I can get you there. Like you get a high paid publicist. Oh yeah, it'll be like $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
But you could get there. You'll get on the publications you want to get on. Like, but it's like if you don't know what to do with it after that,
exactly, because a lot of times, just speaking from the publicist standpoint, I can get you to the space. I mean, I can get you to red carpets and all those things, but if you're not able to have a conversation, if you don't have a personality, if you don't have the ability to speak well, you're going to be a sad situation on this red carpet or the Grammy situation. You know what I mean? So I think that it's necessary for individuals to be cultivated along the way, like you're saying, and grow instead of trying to jump off and be number one tomorrow. And you haven't walked any of this out. You don't know any of the particulars and you don't know how to act in the space.
Right. True.
Yeah. It's funny. I paid, when I had my number ones, my publicist cost me $5,000 a month. Easily $5,000 a month. I spent maybe 75, almost $100,000, really pushing the album. But I didn't put out another I still ain't put out a whole nother album. The new album's coming now. You know what I'm saying? The next 3. But from 2017 to now, I was working that record. And obviously I attained what I attained. But at the end of the day, in order to really break, you have to put some bread into it, or you have to figure out this algorithm, or you have to put in sweat equity. Put in the sweat equity if you ain't really putting budget behind your project. And with that being said, so your last 2 projects, was it market research?
It was
algorithms.
It was a tryout, right? I just wanted to see if I was gonna get, like, I just learned, this is really random, but I started paying attention to how entertainment was trending, right? Because of COVID. Entertainment is trending now very on demand, like HBO Max, Stars, like TV premieres for movies. It's like these major companies are like, nobody's going to a movie theater, but we got to figure out a way to get them to sign up to see this content, right? And so for them, they were like, they drop a trailer, next month, this movie is coming out. Hollywood used to be 4, 5, 6 months in front of your face. Movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming. Because the goal at that point was to see how much money they could make in the first week, right? For me, I'm like, now with movie premieres, you don't have to do the drum roll build up. You don't have to do that. And even with music, if you give them content that's dope enough, eventually, if you've done your job with that promotional element, they're going to want what you have to give very quickly. They don't have to wait. And in a climate where people have access with streaming services to get their music whenever, wherever, however they want in an instant, why would I make them wait for something so that they could take that time and give it to somebody else?
Right.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say, yo, this is something dope. Oh, you like this? Friday. Bam. And then, when we get that, Biz dropped it on the GOM Plus app. So that's also a measurable algorithm, right? So it's like, now I know how many people went to this place to get this information, to get this project, to get this data. And I can be able to say, oh, all those email addresses, that's equity. See? Like all of those downloads, that's a measurable metric. Spotify is going to tell me a number. But what they're not going to tell me is a name. What they're not going to tell me is how to get back to those people.
But
I got the app. I just want you to know that I represent.
Spotify actually does. I just took a class on it. And I was like, oh, this is so. It talks about your the cycle, the algorithms, the metrics inside. You can definitely get your artists, your audience understanding like who you should be making this for. All of the particulars where people, and the fact that you need to put it in there before you actually release it so that you give people the opportunity to make comments and share and say and talk. But so what I see with artists is they feel like they get a little bit of information and then they go to running, right? So I'm gonna drop the album and I'm gonna do this, and it's not news if you've already dropped it. You know what I mean? So I heard you say releasing dope content. Can you explain? Let's see, where's the thing? Dope content. What is dope content? Because I see so many people struggle with trying to connect with whom it is they desire, because again, they don't know them. You know what I mean? So dope content.
So I would say, who is it that likes you and what is it that they like? Because they're going to say,
find that out.
Huh?
How do you find that out?
Well, for me, I actually ask. Like, for me, I actually ask. So I really just ask. I'm like,
what did you say, Jerry?
You said what?
What did you say? What did you say?
I said, yo, so what version of me do y'all like? Like, what kind of sound do you like? And I'll put it on the slideshow. I'll ask. I'll be like, yo, reply here. Like, comment here. Tell me what you want to hear from me. And then I'll measure it. I'm like, okay, so what I thought they liked, they didn't really respond to. Like now that doesn't mean that I don't put it out, because I think that as an artist, you have to have those things that are passion projects for you, like the things that make you know, well, I like it, so that's what matters. But if you're trying to sell something, you have to pitch to a buyer, right? Somebody who, and nobody's gonna buy something they just don't want. So you have to be able to be willing to feed them something that, yo, I like that. That's dope. I want more of that. You know, as simple as it could get. And so for me, when I say dope content, obviously I think it's dope because I made it. But for the people that are going to go out of their way to get it, what do they like? And how can I have this healthy medium of me as an artist? Like, I'm not selling my soul, you know, like, how do you have that, but also be able to give people something that they're like, yo, I really like that.
That's dope. Yeah.
So you've gotta be willing, or else don't sell it.
Right.
Don't sell it. Because we are talking about business, right? We're talking about business. So the purpose of business is to eventually make money, right?
Right.
Real talk, you go to a mall, every Chinese food restaurant in the mall will do this. They give you the little sample with the chicken on it, on the tube. It's like, yeah, you get this piece of chicken, but we want you to come to the store, right? Mixtape for me is the chicken. Like, it's the sample. It's like, yo, get this piece of chicken because this is what I want you to get. Like,
yeah, that's what Costco's do. You walk around Costco's and they got like
all Costco.
You can go, yeah, exactly. You can walk out here like, dang, I only came here, you know, to get some bread.
Right.
Yeah. Man. So when you think about the samplings that you put out, okay, and I happen to think this is some of the most phenomenal bar game that I've seen in such. In a minute, you know what I mean? So, you getting heck of response in regards to the bar game, because you're doing some real rapping. You know what I mean? At what point do you know what goes into the thought of that when going, okay, am I over rapping or am I under rapping, or you know what goes into the thought?
Well, generally speaking, I try to do it this way. I don't rap unless I have something to say. Like, and I think that's kind of the way I approach it, to put it as simple as possible. Like, I rap when I have something to say. So if I don't have anything to say, I'm not going to force it per se. But I do believe that inspiration is a muscle. So I'm always writing, like I'm always refining. But when it comes down to me presenting a product to somebody, the thought is more refined. Like, I could do, if I just, you know, and one time I just wanted to do this, like randomly make a sketches joint, like a tape where like I just write whatever comes to my mind and then just put it out there. Like, just to kind of show there's a difference between, oh yeah, just random raps, and when it's a project that I'm trying to put out, the effort and the focus that's put into it. So for me, I'm always rapping. And I think that's why when it comes down to time for a release, it sounds refined, because I'm always trying to find a better way to do something. Like,
okay, that we got about 8 minutes left. So what's the next move for you?
For me, it's time to get this R&B Jered off the ground, man. Like,
okay, is it gonna be Jered Sanders or just Jered?
Nah. I'll probably
you said that all sexy or just
we'll talk. I might go under a whole different name.
That would be good.
I might go under.
It's gonna be like Jerry Valentine.
No, real talk. I might do something where like I don't even show my face. Like I'm gonna just let people fall in love with the music first, and then go there.
That would be different.
Yeah, because like I thought about her. Remember her when she came out?
Yeah,
she had the shades in there. Nobody really saw her face. And even Aaliyah had the little hair over her face for a minute. Like people was having these deductions, like, oh, she was cockeyed and all kind of stuff. The goal was for her to have a level of mystery to what she did. Even Gold Link, like out of Richmond, like for most of his videos, he would have like actors in it. Like it wouldn't be him. And so people fell in love with the content first.
Same with Sia, right?
Right. Same thing. Like they fell in love with the content first. And then it was like, yo, that's fire. So to me, to transition for me is kind of it's gonna be fun. I really can't wait for y'all to hear what we got.
Okay. We still gonna get rapping Jered too, right?
Yeah. I'll say this. I'm probably not in love with the rapping Jered at this point. Crazy. I love singing right now. Like I love it. And so
wait, Jered. So who are some of your what is that? The people who inspire you? Yeah, from the like who do you sound? I want to hear you sing.
You will. As far as singing or as far as rapping, I've already stated them a million times. Like Fonte is my favorite rapper of all time from Little Brother. He's dude that I patterned a lot from, the Lupes, the Kanyes, and all of them. But as far as singers, there's people I think are dope now, like Lucky Day, Daniel Caesar. I think Bryson Tiller's dope. I think he fell off a little bit. But there's a lot of dope singers. Like R&B's kind of having a renaissance of late.
Yeah,
there's a lot of dope singers. I'll be listening to like jazzy stuff like Snarky Puppy and stuff like that. So you're gonna get a lot of different things from me. Like, and I can't wait because I'm trying to level up the space that we're in that I think you can create Christian content that people who would have never listened to it will be like, yo, that's dope. And they won't realize that the message is very overtly Christian. Like it's
right,
like, they're gonna be like, yo, this is a what? Like this is a like, gotcha. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of what I'm on now.
Oh man, that's absolutely awesome, man. So it's gonna be exciting. Nate, there's actually video of him singing on the internet, by the way.
Yeah.
Look, I'm into live.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, if you want to go check out,
I will.
Don't you worry. It's
coming. Look, Jered, I ask because I sing. Like singing is amazing, right? Like I sing unconsciously. I am music. I encompass it. I've been singing since I was 3, so I get it. Like when it's early, who you are, it just kind of exudes out of you, like unintentional. Ask him. Every conversation we have, I'm singing.
Like I'm singing. We're doing musical references.
Right.
It'll be a song. It'll be like a statement that's said, and then there's a song that come with that statement only because we think music. So man, this has been absolutely awesome. Do you have an anticipation of when this project might drop? Or you just
be ready. Be ready.
Okay, all right.
Exclusives. You want to come on?
Yeah.
That would be fire.
Yeah. That would be fire. So let us know. Let us know, and then obviously with the radio station, we gonna because now we have an R&B station. that we own called Rhythm and Praise, and it's doing very well. And that'd be a nice little thing to break those records on, because they are going to be Christian based, right?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
the message is going to be very plain. Like, for those people that hear, whosoever will, let them hear. Like, it's not.
There's a group out called the Agape Music Group. Have you heard of them?
Nah.
You check them out, you're gonna be like, yo.
You know who? There's some people out there that I think are dope. It's a group called Red Hands.
Yep.
Red Hands is a group that they're overtly Christian, but when you hear it, it sounds like you could play it right along with, like right along with the Roots, like right along with, you know what I'm saying, anything neo soul, and you would be like, yo, or you got PJ Morton, you know, like you have that kind of content. I'm kind of jumping into that space.
Yeah, so, the Agape Music Group is one that you should check out.
For sure.
I guarantee when you hear those records, you're gonna be like, yo.
Word.
Yo. Yeah, they that fire. So we've been getting a lot of response on the radio, on the station for them. Like, you know what I mean? So it was just like, okay, I see where our listeners is like, they gravitating to like the Kierra Sheard's better part, not the gospel part, but the gospel R&B part of Kierra Sheard, and that's been blowing up. So yeah,
dope.
Yeah, man, check it out. Check out the Agape Music Group. I guarantee you're gonna love them.
For sure, we'll do.
Yeah,
appreciate you. Thank you so much for being a part of RYZE this afternoon. We look forward to connecting with you again real soon.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'll get you information when this drops.
Sounds good, man.
All right, man. We're gonna be in touch, sir.
Right on.
Thank you.
All right.
Hope it's dope.
Indeed.
It really is.